So this year at ECTRIMS, I'm presenting a new development in a tool that we've already published. The tool we published, it's called the DAAE score, and the DAAE score is meant to support personalized medicine in people with multiple sclerosis. It's a simple 30-second online app or paper and pencil tool that a physician can use clinical data to predict a patient's risk of transition to secondary progressive MS over 5 years. And the DAAE score in its published version has been validated already in 4 countries, and it's making similar predictions and stratifying patients well based on whether they're low risk, medium risk, high risk, with clinical data. And now what we're presenting here is the 2.0 version of the DAAE score. We have improved the DAAE score by a lot, to the point where I'm really ready to share it with the world. I feel that clinicians can today use the DAAE score for personalized medicine to interact with their patients on a daily basis and show them not only what their risk over the next 5 years is of transition to secondary progressive MS, but also, and this is new, the effects of disease-modifying therapy on that risk. So you can sit with your patients after about 30 seconds of inputting data, provide them with a risk and say, you're in the medium risk group. You would have a 20% risk of conversion to secondary progressive MS over 5 years if you remained on low efficacy therapy. But the evidence suggests your risk goes down by half, down to 12% if you're on higher efficacy therapies. Now, of course, there are their own risks that come with higher efficacy therapies, and I'm not suggesting that the DAAE score is a unilateral tool for escalation, but rather I think it's a useful tool for opening conversations with our patients. What is the relative risk of changing your therapy with the relative risk of your disease worsening in the next 5 years? And that conversation between patient and physician, that's everything to me. I will also add that the DAAE score 2.0, this version that now accounts for disease-modifying therapy, has also been validated in nearly 100 countries, thanks to our collaboration with the MS-BASE Consortium. And we're really thankful to the MS-BASE Consortium and all the data contributors that have allowed for us to do this, because now we have a clinical tool that's been validated internationally with an enormous amount of data from an enormous amount of countries that gives us confidence that the risks that we're reporting with the DAAE score are accurate and consistent and good. I will open by saying that it's important to acknowledge that different neurologists have different philosophies on escalation therapy. And there's very strong arguments for escalating therapy early on, and there's potential arguments that I think are absolutely important for holding back with the patient if that's what's important to the patient. So no matter what, I want to emphasize that my perceived vision of personalized medicine isn't one where we have one size fits all. It's where we just have sufficient additional information that we can have those conversations with our patients about what's right for them. So the DAAE score 2.0, they use patient information that's available, disease duration, age at disease onset, and EDSS to get a risk score from 0 to 12. You get that score, you know what your patient's risk is, you know what their risk of conversion over 5 years is, and you know how disease-modifying therapy might affect it. And depending on your perspective as a neurologist with the very exact patient that's in front of you and everything else that's going on in their lives, that's free information. And it's free information because the DAAE score is publicly available. It is an online app on any phone or any tablet or any computer. You can access the DAAE score already. And even if you didn't have a computer, a tablet, or a smartphone, we have a paper and pencil version as well. So there is essentially no technological barrier between you and having access to the DAAE score to talk with your patients as a neurologist. And I think that's important too, that we've lowered the barrier to use this. It's not a scientific tool. It's a tool that's meant to be in your hands today.